Hello YouTube, it's Gordy here. Welcome to RedneckWise. This is my little Hobart Canada 140 welder. It's wire feed. 0.030 is the wire I use. It's flux cord. I'm going to do a little review on this today. Got the drive wheel assembly, you got the polarity, you got your gun, your ground. I'm going to show you a few welds with it and what gear I use as well. So, and then it's got this chart. Let's see. Yeah, I hope you can read that. If you want to read this, you can pause it and look at it and, you know, whatever. It's just a chart on what the machine settings have to be for the amperage and for the wire speed. And then here's your switch, and here's your overheat light. So, another thing, if you do get a welder and it's wire feed, you plan to do flux core, try to get an alloy E71T-11. Write that down if you want a wire feed welder to weld with flux core. I was told by a professional welder to buy that. One thing for safety, never touch things in there. It's especially those 2 points, the positive and the negative. You know, it's a lot of electricity going through there, and it can cause harm or fatalities if you touch anything wrong in here. This is where gas hooks up. I think it's a little plastic piece that's fried out there, whatever. And then your gas can screw in, but I don't need gas, which is argon, 75%, 25%, or 100% CO2. And that's only for if you're not using the flux core. I make there's a wire for that too. And then, you know, your cord. Oh, I gotta tell you, that's 120 volts. Just 1/4 inch steel. So I'm gonna get onto this. I'm gonna get going and show you what other gear I have. With welding, you're gonna want an angle grinder, which is what, well, this is my gear. Everyone has a preference. You don't need an angle grinder. You could have a different type of grinder, like a bench grinder, but then you have to pick up the piece itself and grind on it instead of, the angle grinder is portable too. So here's the piece I'm gonna be working on today. You want to have a lot of pieces of scrap metal laying around, and you can practice to weld on them and so on and so forth. I have 2 helmets here. One is an auto darkening and one is a full darkening. The full darkening is so people can watch me weld, like family members or friends. And it's also so if my auto darkening helmet runs out of batteries, I can switch over to that and keep welding. You want a jacket. This is a welding jacket. It's flame resistant or flame proof or whatever you want to call it, technical terms. You're gonna want gloves too. These gloves, these thick leather welding gloves, are gonna help you so you don't burn yourself or shock yourself. You want a wire brush. This is to take the slag off of your weld. These magnets, you don't need them, but they come in handy to hold your pieces in place. This is for acetylene. It's a flint sparker. You know this from science class. You've seen it before. A slag chipping hammer. This also comes in handy. You pretty much need this. Soapstone is to draw on your metal so you know where to weld or cut. This is a gauge thing so you can see what thickness of your wire is, what you're using, if it's not marked, and just see the thickness of the metal. It goes up to 5/16. Comes with the welder. And then you need welding pliers. You can use needle nose pliers. They're pretty much the same thing, except this has little things for chipping slag on it. I'll show you an example. These little notches on the side. This right here and this right here. Then you can just go, and the slag is chipped. I think that's what that's for at least. And last but not least, you're going to need contact tips for the welder. 3 of them came with mine. There's some information that came with the welder itself, like the owner's manual, the registration, you know, the hotline, the brakes. And the registration is in for the warranty. I have to send that in yet. I just got this the other day. Then you've got your gas hose for your argon or your CO2. Or, yeah, there's different gases you can use for the metals you're going to be welding. This is the hose. Screws. You take that piece of red plastic off and it goes right in there. And then this hose, the end there, hooks up to, which I have not used it because I use flux core and not the gas, the regulator. Okay, it hooks up to the regulator, and the regulator hooks up to the gas cylinder, and then you can regulate how much gas flow is coming through by this little twist thing. It's the valve. Another thing that comes with the welder is this. It goes on there in the door so that you can have a bigger spool of wire. And this is just a little gas manual and a safety manual. I'm gonna make a bead. I'm thinking right here along the edge. So stay with me. I gotta put my gloves on still. I'll make the bead and then I'll show you. Here we have our weld. I have yet to take the slag off. I will do that because I want to show you guys the process. Alright, and the wire bracelet. Is not fully clean, but you can actually see that the weld is looking pretty now instead of what it had looked like. Close up. We'll be back. As a reminder, always wear your safety protection, please. We will not be responsible if you hurt yourself. Alright, so this wraps up this video, and see you next time in the next video. Signing off, RedneckWise.